When a Texas girl came to New Orleans, came to New Orleans for college, she fell in love with Louisiana and with Louisiana cooking. Now Holly Clegg is an author and helping others across the country discover how tasty our dishes are, and while keeping them healthy and quick to prepare. In tonight's 12 for the Road, she shares a special holiday punch that everyone can enjoy and still drive home. Here's Bill Cappa.
Step into the kitchen in Holly Clegg's Baton Rouge home, and there is no specialized restaurant equipment, though she is a nationally known cookbook author. Her appliances are like those in homes across America because she considers herself a home cook who is preparing dishes for other home cooks, and this is her favorite restaurant.
Well, I always cooking. I mean, when I've been traveling, my husband will say, "We'll go out to eat so you don't have to cook." I go, "No, I am cooking. I'm eating my own food."
But she has a passion fighting America's obesity epidemic.
56% of our population is overweight. 35% of all cancers have some nutritional relationship. You add lifestyle, it goes up as high as 85%. 7% of our population has diabetes. 6.2 million people are unaware they have diabetes.
Holly Clegg has produced cookbooks for cancer patients, for diabetics, for anyone who wants to cook healthier meals.
I'm not saying you have to have broiled chicken, a baked potato, and green beans, because I'm not eating that way. You know, all my potatoes are going to be stuffed, my, vegetables are going to be good, my chicken's going to have sauces. So you don't have to just give up.
In her newest book, she teams with the America's Wetlands Foundation to show cooks that even Gulf Coast recipes can be tasty and still healthy.
Eating healthy Louisiana food is sort of an oxymoron, and the Gulf Coast favorites really includes all your favorite Louisiana recipes, from gumbos to etouffees to creoles to remoulades.
Holly Clegg grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, where the kitchen became a favorite place by age 10.
I think I started cooking at a young age, baking. I see young kids today starting baking, and I think that was my first time in the kitchen. I can remember going to the grocery store, choosing which cake mix I wanted to make.
By high school, she was catering for parties, and then she came to New Orleans for college.
My mother wanted me to go to a good school in the South, and she wanted me to go to Sophie Newcomb College back then, and I did. And it was just a wonderful experience. But back to cooking, I was going to go there 2 years and then probably transfer to Texas and major in home ec. That was my goal.
But Holly had found the holy land of cuisine, and she was in heaven.
I took cooking classes in New Orleans. I ate my way through every restaurant in New Orleans, and my appreciation for food, I was in the perfect place.
She'll tell you she is a home cook, but she has been trained by the best in London and Paris.
I went to the Cordon Bleu cooking school in London, and which was just a real treat for me. That's a dream come true.
But one phone call changed her from caterer to author.
I catered for the Sternberg family here locally, who, started Gotchals, and ultimately they acquired Maison Blanche. And one day Hans Sternberg called me in the 80s and said, "Holly, would you like to write a cookbook?"
That led to cookbooks from Mr. Bingle's Kitchen with her children on the cover. But Holly realized that she needed to develop easy, everyday recipes and cooking tips for overworked home chefs, which led to the Trim and Terrific series.
I wanted to show people that you could have good food that was good for you. That was the time when oat bran and people were just starting to hear about health. And everything tasted like cardboard. It tasted terrible. So that's when I went to the bank, borrowed money, and wrote my first Trim and Terrific Louisiana Kitchen. And I thought, oh my God, I owe money to a bank.
She pounded out her first book on a typewriter. Now she composes on a keyboard, and she is even going high-tech with recipes accessible by cell phone.
How cool is it? You go to your iPhone and you search under apps Holly Clegg, and my little picture pops up.
For 12 for the Road, Holly Clegg makes her daughter-in-law's recipe for party punch, and she even froze a portion of it to make a decorative ice ring.
This is party punch, and a lot of people don't realize making an ice ring is so simple. I made the recipe up ahead of time, put it in the freezer, and you can do that way ahead of time, and then you just put it in, and it keeps punch nice and cold and adds a little more pizzazz.
Tell me about the punch.
You're just going to get your frozen containers, and you have a strawberry daiquiri, cranberry juice, cocktail, and this is a fruit punch. And then I'm using light apple juice, and then I've used Diet Sprite, or Sprite Zero, and that's going to give it our fizz. Now, here's my little secret to add that little texture to it. We're just going to puree. That's a quart of strawberries and 1 kiwi. And then we're just going to add that in.
Tomorrow night, Dr. Michael White heats up his clarinet with hot music while making a cool, jazzy recipe for 12 for the road.
And a toast.
To Trim and Terrific Holidays.
Happy holidays.
I'm Bill Capo, Eyewitness News, Night Watch.
Police search for someone who stole Christmas from one church, and another church recovers a historic piece that someone stole a few days ago. Details up next.